Hey there, welcome to the Journal Space Intro to Journaling webinar. I'm so glad you decided to join me here. I hope that you are ready to learn about journaling. We'll be together for about an hour, so let's begin. So the purpose of this webinar is how to journal. And let's just pull up my sheet here because I'm going to be sharing some notes with you as I go. I want to give you an understanding of journaling so that you will be able to use your writing to empower you on your journey. The two things that I want to make sure you get out of today is this: 2 steps, and it's going to be very simple, easy steps so that you can go from here and know how to maintain it. The first thing that I want to be sure that you take away today is that you will learn and understand what journaling is. And then the second thing is, I want you to know how to journal effectively from a positive approach that allows you to start making those changes that you desire to see happen in your life. So how this webinar will work is that this is going to be an interactive webinar that is going to be true to what journaling is, and then also true to who I am. So there won't be PowerPoints that you may be used to seeing in a webinar, and this is not going to be a lecture style teaching. It's going to be a teaching that allows us to be a part of the conversation. So what I want to say with that is, so we'll be experiencing this form of journaling online together, and maybe this is your first time journaling online. So this may feel unusual at first, but let's just journal, let's just have fun, let's just be open to the experience and take it all in with me, because it's new for all of us. And ultimately, I want you to take in what this workshop's really about. It's more about the information more than the technology. And so let's just focus on that. Let's just journal and get to the nuts and bolts of what journaling really is. Let it be an undistracted time for you to focus on yourself. That's where we're going to get started here. So does that make sense? Let me know if you're ready. Are you ready? Does that sound good? Just say yes in the comments and let's keep going. Awesome. So the one good thing that we definitely want to have is a journal, of course, in a writing tool, whether it be pen, pencil, whatever you choose to write with. But we're going to have our journals out this morning, so I hope you have a journal with you. But I'm going to be using the You're Worth Writing For journal. It's the recommended journal for this webinar, and that's that. You don't have to use this particular journal, but you can still follow along and use any journal that you have. You're fine if you don't have the You're Worth Writing For journal, but just wanted to let you know what I'm using as we go through this. Okay, and so let me just go ahead and put that link up in there so that way, as I'm going along, you guys can go check it out. So that's there for you. All right, so I started journaling intentionally, meaning I knew my purpose for journaling and started journaling with an intentional purpose at the age of 12. It's right here, my very first journal that I started in when I was 12 years old. My prayer journal, actually, and it's kind of ironic that after all these years, this is how my life has evolved, and my first journal entry started with the prayer. It's a composition notebook that I decorated and made. All my pages have little embellishments in every single margin area of it. How many of you guys have your very first journal? This is mine. And I share it because we all have a starting point. We all have a starting point to journaling. And essentially that is why journaling is so awesome. It's because we can access it at any point in our life. There is no right or wrong way to journal. It's whatever you need journaling to be at whatever stage and age of your life that you are in. Journaling is as unique as the life of the writer, right? And so here are some myths about journaling. So when some people think of journaling, many people think, oh, I'm not a writer. So meaning that because they assume journaling is just for writers, it almost is a myth that they think that journaling is only for people who know how to write, or that you have to be good at it in order to journal. And so that myth is incorrect. And then some people think that journaling means that it's just something that you could do because it's a fun thing, which it could be, but some people think it's just that. And then some people think journaling is just a tool to vent. And then some people may think that it's just a tool that you just do for fun, a craft class, or it's just a hobby that you use for leisure. These are different myths people have about what journaling is. And those myths are not, they could be true for some or not true, but for the most part, journaling is not just one thing or another, essentially. Journaling is not one thing or one focus. Here's what journaling is. Journaling is a form of self-expression in which you put your thoughts on paper relating to the events of your life. Now, how you could do that, there's many different ways you could do that. But essentially, that is what journaling is. It's your thoughts in the way that you are expressing the way you feel on paper relating to the events of your life. Does that make sense? And so journaling is what it is to you, what you make it. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. You are what makes journaling what it is. And that's what makes journaling such a great tool, especially for mental health and self-care. But the limitlessness of journaling is also what makes it hard for people to find out which way journaling really works for them. And maybe that's what's making it hard for you to know how journaling really works for you. And if that's the case, let me know. Has journaling been hard for any of you guys here? Because it's so open-ended. Sometimes people just need structure, clear directions, and journaling doesn't always provide that. And so let's get into it here. So here are some of the reasons why people journal. For personal growth, they journal as a form of writing to heal, to practice gratitude, to reduce stress and anxiety, to vent and voice their frustrations, to plan for the future. So yeah, so some of you guys may look, I'm putting it out here so you guys have an idea of all the many reasons people journal. So it doesn't have to be one thing or the other, right? Planning for the future. Exploring ideas and goals, which I talk about all the time on my Tip Tuesdays, how I'm always planning, using my visual journal to brainstorm and think through and evaluate where I stand in life. I use journaling to also reflect on life. And so people also use journaling to record moments of their life, to track progress, victories, life lessons, to be creative. Maybe you want to start being creative with lettering or watercolor or whatever it is. It's to give you that creative outlet that is judgment-free. And also it's for decision-making. The list truly goes on with all of the different ways and reasons why people journal. And unfortunately, some people don't expand their experience with journaling to flow throughout all of these things simply because they just don't know. And that's pretty much what has happened to me. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so you guys can see my face again. And so I wanted to read a quick article to you guys, just real quick, because I want to give you the depth of just how significant journaling is and how come knowledge about it will become power to you. So I just listed to you guys the reasons why people journal, right? But I'm about to state the facts. Okay, so there's this psychologist and researcher, American psychologist, TEDx talker, author, writer, speaker, phenomenal psychologist. His name is James Pennebaker, and he's been widely known in the mental health community for his research on the benefits of journaling, along with many other things. And in his research, Pennebaker states that regular journaling strengthens immune systems called the T lymphocytes. I don't need to get into the real health terms here. But his research indicates that journaling decreases the symptoms of asthma and rheumatoid arthritis. What? Like, that is the extent to what journaling has been proven to help. Now, If journaling is helping to cure and decrease symptoms for these type of health issues, what could it do for us? His research has shown that writing about stressful events, right? Stress, which we all have, right? But his research has shown writing about stressful events helps you come to terms with them, acting as a self-healing stress management tool, which is why journaling in turn improves your mental health and reduces the impact these stressors have on your physical health. So that's powerful, right? Because day to day, you may have thought journaling was just a fun thing to do, a nice hobby class that you can go to for leisure, or that it's just for venting, or that it's just for the people who are good at writing. No, it is not. No, it is not. Healthcare does not discriminate. Healthcare issues do not only hit people who are good at it, and even if you don't experience it, the stresses of physical and mental illnesses, it doesn't mean you don't know someone that does. So journaling is a form of healing that can really touch the lives of anybody. Is that powerful to you guys? I need to, because when I was reading this, I was baffled. And I've been journaling all of my life, and I never knew the extent to how much journaling could really be used as a tool to change my life. I figured I had to share it with you guys because it's so important. So in the extreme cases, whether you suffer from eating disorder, bipolar disorder, ADD, ADHD, depression, or even schizophrenia, journaling has been proven to be of benefit to you. If journaling has been proven to work wonder for these extreme health issues like that, the same can be true for relieving milder issues from doubt, low self-esteem, discouragement, feeling unmotivated, and even the fear of fun. I love throwing that in there because it throws people off. But fun is my definition that I came up with because I've gone and done so many workshops right now to define what fear does to you. So my definition of fun is this: fear of failure, meaning the rejection, the humiliation, or the fear of the struggles that will come from stepping out of your comfort zone and what failure looks like to you before you've even started. So you don't have fun because you're afraid of failure. Fear of the unknown. Fear of not knowing what's next, which means you don't do anything because you don't know what's next. You don't see how it's possible. You don't believe it because you don't see it. So it's the fear of the unknown that leaves you feeling stuck. Then N, fear of necessary success, meaning you stepping outside of your comfort zone to do what success requires of you. Your fear is not allowing you to do the necessary things that are requiring you to get to your next level. Step out of your comfort zone or be in the spotlight. Like, I don't like to be in the spotlight. And so those things, the fear of what happens when you start, when those things you believed you wanted to do, the fear of what happens when those things start to work out. Or fear of how your life will change, or fear of how you'll have to open up and live up to what it is you said you will be doing. The fear of necessary success. So that's my definition of fun, right? So when I started journaling, I had no idea of the benefits of journaling in this way. But what I did know was that journaling would help me release the pent-up anger, which I know many of you guys know. Journaling will help you release pent-up anger, hurt, and pain balled up inside of you so that you can release those wasteful thoughts, right, that affect our physical and mental health. We have to release those wasteful thoughts, I call them, negative thoughts, because if they're balled up in here, they're affecting our whole being, our mind. They're affecting the way we carry ourselves, the decisions we make, but we have to get them out of us so that we can ultimately refocus our energy and make room to allow in new information, new goals, and new things that are important to us that allow us to be healthier, that allow us to move forward. Because guess what, guys? Your words matter, and so do your thoughts. So if we can get control of our thoughts, and if we can get control of our words, that's how life change begins to happen. And that's how journaling becomes bigger than what you ever expected it to be. And that's ultimately how I started Let's Write Life. I'm just saying. So it's a healthier alternative to antidepressants and other drugs and alcohol. So as I'm saying this to you, take it in, guys, because this is what is missing in our world, and people need this information because this information is going to give them life, and that is what Let's Write Life's all about. So let me just share my screen again because I want to show with you now the benefits of journaling just really quickly so you can see. So here are the benefits of journaling you can experience right now, okay? When you journal, you can experience the benefits of self-expression by writing about what's on your mind right now. You don't have to wait for an appointment. You don't have to wait for the next journaling workshop. You don't got to wait for nobody's permission. You can start writing about what's on your mind right now. You can express how you feel. You can reflect on life. You can plan your life, gain control of where, how, and what you spend your time on. And you decided to be here with me today. Thank you. All right. And so you can improve your ability to move forward in life because you will know how to handle your thoughts and emotions that can begin to overwhelm you and leave you feeling stuck in life. Boom. You can also come to know who you are. Your journaling will lead you to gain clarity on a deeper level of who you are so that you can define your purpose and live life to the fullest. If you don't know who you are, then how can you possibly know what to do with your life? You know, there is a process to this, but journaling is that first step that helps you begin to know and understand who you are so you can make better decisions for your life based on your strengths, based on what you know for yourself and not what people tell you about yourself, based on what makes you happy and not what the world defines as what happiness is, based on you knowing what success looks like to you, because success to me may not be the same way you define success. So you can determine what those things are for yourself and you can plan your life accordingly. This is why journaling is so important for me, and I want it to be this meaningful to you. So I've done all the talking that I'm going to do for you guys. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen so you can see me again. I want to share with you that your words have power, and if there's nothing else you get from this experience, I want you to know that you can start using your words today to change all of your tomorrows. That shift, that change, that journey of personal growth that you're desiring in your life, it can happen. But it all depends on the words that you tell yourself and the words that you're using to write the way. We can use journaling for venting and things like that, all we want to do. But when we do those things, what are we doing? We're holding on to wasteful thoughts. And so think about it. The more you turn your page, your clean blank page of journal, your fresh sheet of paper always starts blank. What you put on it makes the difference. I want to do some guided journaling with you right now. So have your journals out. You guys ready to go to the next level? Okay, let's go. So how do you journal? After all that, how do you do it? How do you begin? Right now, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do some guided journaling with me. I'm going to help you. This is an opportunity for you to practice your own self-expression. Raw writing experience with me here to guide you. What I want you to do is use this time of journaling as a form of self-care for you to focus on you and your thoughts, okay? I'll be using the You're Worth Writing For journal during this exercise. And so the first step to journaling is this. You can start journaling by writing about what's on your mind and become comfortable with your own self-expression. That's really the first step to journaling without any rules, right? That means you can vent if you want to right now. You can write a poem right now. You can scribble down your thoughts. You can reflect on life. You can plan your life. You can do whatever you want in this time, okay? Just get used to expressing yourself and listening to the thoughts and just become comfortable with that, okay? I know it's hard. You'll have to be vulnerable to just do it, but I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. The best way and most easy way to get started with journaling is to use journaling prompts. And so if you ever find yourself feeling stuck and you don't know where to start, just find some journaling prompts online and start there. Because the first goal is just to get comfortable with expressing yourself. I'm going to get you started with some today, because I love y'all. And we'll spend about 10 minutes journaling. I want you to watch and let's write life, okay? So let me go ahead and share my screen and have you guys take a look at or get into this mode of journaling, all right? Journaling is an opportunity for you to find your voice, own your story, and express yourself by letting things be as they are. Not changing, not worrying about typos, not critiquing, but simply writing, reflecting, and noting your thoughts, feelings, and accepting new perspectives as they arise. It's time for you to become comfortable where paper meets pen with this 10-minute journaling exercise. There will be 5 minutes of guidance and 5 minutes of open writing. My favorite journaling prompt is a simple question we all hear every day. How are you? Today you're going to check in with yourself. In the You're Worth Writing For journal, turn to the first page marked with the words, You're Worth Writing For. It's a gentle reminder to you, today, and every day to know your worth. Don't be afraid of messing up or being perfect in this journal space. Imperfection is what makes you unique, and honestly, it's what makes you who you are. So just be real, be vulnerable. I want you to express yourself and let go of any expectations you have around journaling. By doing so, you will learn to let go of unnecessary expectations that life has put on you or expectations you have put on yourself. Look at your journal. And in these pages of your journal, you can relax. You can be yourself. You can trust your journey. Sometimes when we come to doing journaling, we're looking for an outlet. We may feel stressed or anxious about things. So before you journal, I want you to begin journaling by getting into a relaxed state of mind. Come ready to let go of the stress you're carrying. Every time you journal, you should want the feelings of relaxation and peace to be the outcome. I want you to feel de-stressed by the process of writing. This way, journaling becomes an intentional moment for you to achieve that calming goal. Start your journaling with this intentional thought in mind, okay? I'm going to guide you with a few simple breathing techniques to help calm your mind, slow down the busyness of your thoughts, help you to remove distractions, and reduce stress and anxiety that you may feel in order for you to fully shift into this journal space. Knowing that this time is going to help you refocus, help you get back on track, and empower you to keep moving forward through life. Let's begin. So close your eyes as we begin with deep breathing. I want you to sit comfortably where you are. Leave your pens and your journals down and just close your eyes with me. With each breath, we will take 4 seconds to breathe in and breathe out. So right now, take a deep breath in for 4 seconds, in through your nostrils. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale slowly for 4 seconds through your mouth. 3, 2, 1. And let's take another deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to take a deep breath out slowly. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then one last one. We're going to take a deep breath in, building your strength and hope. And then breathe out slowly. Feel the air moving out like you're letting go of stress, worry, anxiety, and any negative or distracting thoughts. Just let them go. And now we're making space for new thoughts to begin. So open your eyes and begin to write. Listen to these guided questions. How are you? When's the last time you asked yourself, how are you? When's the last time you thought about yourself and made time for yourself like this? Again, I'm going to ask you, how are you? What's on your mind? Begin to write whatever thoughts come to your mind as you listen to my voice. Journaling is an opportunity for you to find your voice, own your story, and express yourself by letting things be as they are. Not changing, not worrying about typos, not critiquing, but simply reflecting and simply writing, noting your thoughts, feelings, and new perspectives as they arise. It's time for you to become comfortable where paper meets pen. If you feel stuck, keep writing whatever thoughts you hear in your mind. Write them down. Practice listening and writing. Get involved with the dialogue going on in your mind and write what you hear. Ask yourself, how are you? Focus what's on your mind. Practice your own self-expression. Let go and express how you feel. For the next few minutes, just continue to write, and I will stop this video when we're ready to move forward. All right, my friends, I'm going to have you transition back to where I am by gathering your thoughts. And let's just come back together. I hope that you had just a good starting point. Let me just stop sharing my screen. Here I am. Hope you guys got a little bit of time there to just start to get those juices flowing, right? The second step right here is that the first step right here that we just did, that is typically where people stay. Not just journaling, but in life. Staying in this circle of expressing thoughts or holding on to thoughts, and then writing the thoughts, and then letting them go, and then coming back to the thoughts. And it becomes this circle, and you're like, you find yourself, years are passing by, and you're like, why am I here? What happened? And at the beginning of this webinar, I said, journaling is as unique as the life of the author. So if you're writing about the same things, most likely you're doing the same things. Preach. Okay, I know that's a little much. All right. But you guys get what I'm saying? Most people stay in the first step of journaling. So how I'm about to take you beyond that is with step number 2. And this is where life change happens. In your second step, in that next step to move forward, whether you know where you're going or not, that next step is what has to happen in order for life change to take place. And so I used to dwell in that first step, because when I started journaling when I was 12, I grew up in a strict parent-run household where I couldn't express my thoughts without feeling rejected or unloved or not good enough, because I was the crybaby of the family. Cried all the time, and that just wasn't cool. And if you're dealing with depression, can you just imagine the rejection that I was feeling? I'm not going to get into my story. That's another workshop. But all that to say, I had this. And that's what I knew journaling to be. But unfortunately, that's where I stayed. I stayed in a lifestyle of writing about my pain. And so pain was what I was feeling. And ultimately, I was carrying that pain into my adult life. And so what I want to leave with you guys here today, before we leave this workshop, is that in your next step is where you can change that pattern. I want to give you the opportunity now. I asked you how you are feeling, but here's how your next step happens. You respond to it. Don't just let it go. Don't just vent. Don't just leave it there. Or if you express something new, if you gained a new perspective in your journal writing just now, as we have started, I want you to, in this next step, your next step, I want you to respond to the thought. This is how you react. This is how you be become proactive in your thought process in a way where you become the author of your life, and you no longer let your negative thoughts or let people, other things going on, hold the pen. You get to hold the pen. And so this is what happens in that step number 2. And so I'm going to lead you through step number 2, because this is important. And this is how you're going to move beyond just journaling for what it is and bridge that gap between journaling and what it means to journal in a way from a positive approach that leads to life change. Okay, guys? So I'm going to share my screen, and what I want you to do is just focus on responding to your thoughts, okay? And just let the journaling be what it is. All right? So let me go ahead and get this rolling for you guys. Let's begin to journal. Small steps lead to big changes. What's your next step? Starting with eyes closed, allow a brief moment for deep breathing. I'm going to guide your journaling and give you free time to write. Listen to me speak, and when I'm done, you can open your eyes and begin to write. By listening without writing, this helps to quiet your mind and practice your ability to lessen distracting thoughts so that you can develop a natural stream of consciousness to freely write. Right now, let's take a brief moment for one deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one slow exhale out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can open your eyes and begin to write. Let's begin. How are you? It's such a simple question that opens the door for you to express what's on your mind. And yet, we rarely ask ourselves this question. Even when we are asked by others, we rarely even answer it. Today, you got to ask yourself, how are you? Now that you know your thoughts, how are you going to move forward? This is your next step with journaling. Positive choices lead to positive life change. You can use journaling to express yourself, empower yourself, and go beyond by always asking yourself what's next. Write about your goals. Focus on getting back to your joy. Think about how you can begin to know who you are so that you can define what your purpose is. This is where your journey with journaling truly begins. It begins by what you write next. You can make the choice to move forward because you're worth writing for. You have a purpose that the world needs and the people around you need. Never stop believing in yourself. As long as you believe in yourself, confidence will take you wherever you want to go. Don't allow discouragement to stand in your way. Don't give up. Refuse to let perfection, negative thoughts, and fears kill your dreams. You are stronger than you think. Open your eyes to see that you are ready. You were made for greater things. Reach into your soul and awaken your destiny. Build your confidence. Become who you want to be by discovering your purpose. Never forget who you are. Let faith, family, and friends give you strength to move forward. Achieve your wildest dreams and choose joy despite your circumstance. Now is the time to pick up your pen and become the author of your life. You're worth writing for. You always were. You always will be. Let's write life. What you do with your thoughts make a difference. How will you move forward? Continue to write and let your thoughts pour out on paper. I will stop this video when we are ready to move forward. have you join me back here in this journal space. So how we feeling? How we feeling? Good, good, good. All right, all right. Let me just go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Hello, hello. Okay, so I am hoping that by now you guys have knocked a few years off your life or added a few years, right? I'm hoping you added some years to your life by just being able to get whatever is on your mind right now, just out on paper, so you can really begin this journey of journaling in a new way. Yeah, I know for me, journaling has also just been the tool that has totally changed my life from where I was and has really brought me to where I want to be. And it's all been because I have used the power of words to do it. I've used something so simple, something we all have access to. It doesn't cost us anything to use, and that is journaling, self-expression on the page. And so I hope that you enjoyed the videos that I made. This last segment of guided journaling is literally based on the You're Worth Writing For journaling. I read the manifesto that this particular journal starts with. So if you ever feel yourself afraid of fun, afraid of feeling, or if you are feeling discouraged or not sure of what to do, this particular journal was written to remind you of who you are, to remind you of the journey that you are on, and for you to not give up, even when life feels like it's getting the best of you. So even having a journal like this is why I wrote and designed this journal, because I know for me, even in that next step, I still sometimes lose my way. And so that's really where the journey begins. You can write and write and write, but now that you have taken that second step, that's where you have to begin acting these things you desire out in your real life. Every step requires a new level of courage and bravery. So where do you want to go with this? I took you from just expressing yourself, and now we have responded to our thoughts, but now what are we going to do with the thoughts? And that's what Let's Write Life is about. Let's means let us, because I know it's a journey we have to take together. It's impossible for you to do it by yourself. So when I wrote let's, I meant we are going to do this, okay? Let us. I didn't call it I write life. I call it let's write life. What does write mean? Write, dictionary meaning, means to make real. Did you know that? Write in the dictionary means to make real. So what we're going to do, let us make real. And what is life? Life, in my definition of life, it's what's most meaningful to us. Without life, what do we have? It is the most meaningful thing that we have beyond our, then our family, all those things come. But let's write life means let us make real what's most meaningful to us. I hope you have enjoyed this webinar. I have absolutely enjoyed spending this time with you. It's time for you to rewrite the story of your life. Now that you've learned the foundations for journaling, it's time to pick up your pen and write. Thank you for watching this webinar today. Wow, that was a jam-packed webinar, right? Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this webinar, you can feel free to leave comments in the discussion area of this course space. I wanted to be sure that before we ended this video that if you are interested in any journaling instrumentals, you can check out the link with this video so you can find and access some instrumentals for your own personal journal writing. As mentioned in the video, you can also check out more courses at letswritelife.com that you can use to explore more journaling. Thank you so much for watching. You're worth writing for. You always were. You always will be. So let's write life.